Exhilarating sports talk coming up next on The Doug Stewart Show in about 2 minutes. Stay tuned. We're about to have some fun. That's right. Sports talk, guy talk, right here on The Doug Stewart Show. Show coming up in about a minute and a half. Hold on. You have entered a no puppet zone. That's right, no puppetry around here. The Doug Stewart Show coming up in about 1 minute. The realest, treeless, most unfiltered sports and guy talk show in America. The Doug Stewart Show coming up in about 30 seconds. Yes!
Doctor, this is the mayor talking.
All right.
Doctor,
Come on, what?
always do the right thing.
If you came here to hear for fake, you are in the wrong place. We are for real around here. We keeps it real. This is the Doug Stewart Show, the livest, the realest, the trillest sports talk show in America. Are you not entertained? This is Sports Talk with Hot Sauce. Texas Pete Hot Sauce, the Doug Stewart Show. Game time.
Good morning. Yes, sir. What's happening? Welcome to the Doug Stewart Show. This is a Tribute Tuesday. And oh boy, we've got a lot of great things we're going to get into today as we do every single day. Shouts out to all of the Stewies already in the chat room doing their thing. Good morning to you. Good morning. Bring that beat back one more time. Bring it back. Yes, sir. Oh, boy. It could be worse. You could be a Cleveland Brown fan. Damn. Oh. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Tribute Tuesday. We got a great artist we're going to kind of pay homage to today on the Doug Stewart Show. We're going to have a lot of fun. I mean, really, man, think about it. I mean, it could be so different. My old man used to say that all the time. Things could be so different, very easily. I mean, for all of those people out there like myself in particular, I'm a Lakers fan. Y'all know that. Been a Laker fan for over 30 years. But, I mean, what if I had done something stupid as a kid and become a fan of, I don't know, the Cleveland Browns or something like that? Life would be so different. Man. So, I mean, little things mean big things. You know what I'm saying? But obviously, we're going to talk about what happened last night on Monday Night Football. Thank you so much for joining me on the Doug Stewart Show. Shouts out to all of the Stewies. Hey, man, if you're new to the Doug Stewart Show, trust me, you have found us. I mean, you have done yourself a great justice by finally finding the Doug Stewart Show, a.k.a. TDSS, in the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. We have so much fun around here. It's unbelievable. I'm telling you, we have crazy fun around here. We talk sports. We talk entertainment. We do top fives. We do Dougie Dailies. Obviously, we talk about sports, but we hit entertainment. We talk about birthdays. And every once in a while, even, and as a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you right now, and the stewards are going to love to hear this early in the show. As a matter of fact, today, I will probably, no, I'm not probably, I promise you, I'm going to sing something for you. Yes, sir. Studio audience. Wait, studio audience. Shut up. Yeah, that's right. To the new Stewies out there, that's right. Your boy actually sings every once in a while. I've been blessed with the gift of song. I only realized it over the last couple of months. But, yes, I do sing for you. I also rap. I do it all, man, just to break the monotony of the show, just talking about these sports stories every once in a while. And so today, man, there's a particular birthday that we're gonna talk about. And this person was a tremendous singer. I think he's still a tremendous singer. I think he's still alive. But we're going to pay homage to him through song. Also today, on a Tribute Tuesday, what we do on Tuesdays is we pay homage to a legendary artist. Most of the time, hip-hop artists. I keep saying that I'm going to flip it and change it up and feature like an R&B artist or something at some point. But today, we're going to keep it going, man. Today, we're going to pay homage. And this guy probably isn't considered one of the greatest of all times. A lot of times, this is to hip-hop cats. But today, we're going to pay homage to one of my favorite rappers of all times, Funk Dr. Spock. His mama called him Reggie. On his birth certificate, it says Reggie Noble, a.k.a. Redman. That's right. From Brick City. From Brick City. Reggie Noble. Funk Dr. Spock. Superman lover. 45 years old from Newark, New Jersey. Once again, Brick City. Rapper, DJ, record producer, actor. Labels Def Jam, recordings. Associated with Method Man, Wu-Tang Clan, K-Solo. I think I heard that him and K-Solo had that one song. He ain't done nothing else since. But him and K-Solo are cousins or brothers or something like that. They kind of look alike if you look real close. Limp Bizkit, EPMD, Socrates, Def Squad. I don't know who the hell Socrates is. Def Squad. That's probably what most people know him from. And Christina Aguilera. What's his relationship with Christina Aguilera? I don't know, but anyway, today we're going to pay homage, man, to Redman on the Doug Stewart Show. Also, I need to get some type of alarm, some type of sounder for this. But today, we have bonus stew for you. Bonus stew, bonus stew, bonus stew, bonus stew. That's right, bonus stew. So today at 12 noon, normally the end of the Doug Stewart Show right here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, we're going to talk to and we're going to interview a homeboy of mine, man. His name is Joseph Bailey, and he's got this movement going on. Real big things, man. Very interesting story. Something for the community, doing positive things. So we're going to interview him, man, and then we'll have some bonus stew all the way up until probably around 12:30 today, right here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. So, once again, bonus stew for you today on the Doug Stewart Show. All right, if you're new to the show, a couple things you need to do. You need to follow the show on Spreaker.com. Hit the little follow button so whenever the show goes live, you will be alerted. All right, so we'll do the interview today with my man Joseph Bailey from the Bash Movement. We'll do that interview today, but some other times we air shows at a different time on the network. Most of the time, 99% of the time, we're here Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And literally, that's 99% of the time. Rarely do we change our time here on the network. But if we do, you'll be alerted. Also, we play other shows. We broadcast other shows on the network, like the Kicking It with Kesey show coming up tomorrow, as well as the Poe Politicking show. And we've got another show on the horizon about to come here. So follow the show on Spreaker.com. That's big. We're close to 10,000 followers. So we're trying to get to that landmark. Follow the show on Spreaker, as well as hit the little chat bubble. Jump into the chat room with the Stewies. That's what I call the people in the chat room. And be part of the most interactive, the most fun chat room in America. I call it the Fantasy Island of Sports and Guy Chat. Yes! Yes, sir! Shouts out to the Stewies. My peoples. Yeah. All right, so today, man, a couple little stories out there in the world of sports. Obviously, we'll talk a little bit about Monday Night Football. Kevin Durant pays homage to the Bean. That's a very heartfelt story. I can't wait to talk about that, man. You see the title of today's show. It says college football rankings about to get messy. You know, they have the college football rankings coming out later on today. This thing is going to be real ugly, which really makes the case that they should go to 8 teams. All right, the thing is flawed from the very beginning. I can just tell you this from the rip. The thing is flawed from the very beginning. I don't know why they didn't think this through a little bit more. They got 5 power conferences, but only 4 spots. So that doesn't work. And I think soon, at some point, they're going to have to change to 8 teams. But we'll talk about that and some of the issues that they're going to face today in coming out with this new ranking. SC has their man. Chip Kelly latest. What will the Georgia Bulldogs do? As well as a bunch of other stuff today on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Now, I talked about the chat room, but you can give me a call, old school style. And I say old school style because this is the way we used to do it. There weren't any chat rooms or you couldn't post or anything like that. You can call the show at 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. We are doing huge things here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Let me mention this right now. This is something that we thought about in the little group meeting yesterday, me and Larry and some other confidants of the Doug Stewart Show right here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. I am rolling out right now, officially, and this is the first day. We're going to mark this day on the calendar. I am rolling out the Triple F campaign. All right, you might say to yourself, what does Triple F stand for? What the hell? What's that an acronym for? The Triple F campaign stands for $5 for the flavor. $5 for the flavor. Now, all I'm asking, and all the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network is asking, is for you to donate $5 a month. That's all. And let's just be honest about this, all right? Let's just be honest about this. We've been doing this show for over a year now. We've had great success. We're getting some marketing and some advertising dollars in, but it's not enough to sustain this fine sports and entertainment programming. It's not. So, just like in independent radio, we need your help, all right? So we're asking you, if you listen to this show, we're asking every listener to the Doug Stewart Show that feels like they have a great time and they love listening to this show 5 days a week throughout the month. So about 20 days a month, 5 days a week. Once again, $5 a month. That comes out to about 25 cents a day. You got 25 cents in your couch cushions, right? That's all we're asking is for 25 cents a day, one time a month, all right? Donate $5 a month to the Doug Stewart Show, man, to help us keep the lights on, man, and so we can continue this fine entertainment program here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Easy to do. All you do is go to thedugstewartshow.com. That's thedugstewartshow.com. It's through PayPal. It's simple. It's like 3 clicks and bam, you're done. It's the equivalent to buying your boy a beer. I used to say this a lot at the beginning of the show when we first started. Buy your boy a beer. A Heineken, mind you. $5, that's pretty high for a beer. So $5 a month. That's all we're asking is for you to donate to the Doug Stewart Show, man, to help us continue doing what we do, all right? The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. Once again, the Triple F campaign stands for $5 for the flavor. If you like this flavorful sports and entertainment show, donate $5 a month. TheDougStewartShow.com. There's a little donate button to the right. Click on that, man, and help your boy out and help this fine radio program continue to do what we do. Yes! Yes! I said it a couple of minutes ago, man. Things could be so worse. You could be a Cleveland Browns fan. Last night, man, you got to be freaking kidding me. The Cleveland Browns are the freaking schlep rocks of the NFL. And they joined the stage with a couple other teams in sports. But my gosh, and my old lady, she's from Metro Cleveland. And so I know all her people, brother-in-law and father-in-law and all of the people, man. They're just miserable. If it can go wrong, it will for the Cleveland Browns. We'll talk about it up next. Monday Night Football talk coming up on the Doug Stewart Show. Don't go away. Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play. So, you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. Do you have your own radio show? Are you an artist or a DJ? BB Mobile Apps is the solution for you. They specialize in creating mobile apps for entertainers. That's right. You can have your own mobile app where your followers can hear your shows or music, watch your videos, and view all your social networks in one place. You can even make money with banner ads and send push notifications directly to your audience to make sure they get your messages. Everyone has their phones on them, right? A mobile app will add credibility to your brand because your content will be accessible to them while they're on the go. BB Mobile Apps also makes apps for bloggers, actors, and producers. The process only takes about 20 minutes. Just go to bbmobileapps.com and click Get Started Now. That's bbmobileapps.com and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you. This is your folk, Doug Stewart. Want to protect you and your family from life's unexpected mishaps? Then join 7. Join 7 is a prepaid legal company under the umbrella of the Protection Group. Join 7 is the only group benefit or motor club in the U.S. that offers auto reimbursement coverage, key replacement coverage, roadside assistance, gives you a current Medi-file, prescription savings, and fully encompassed prepaid legal benefits that include identity theft. They got your back. The average combined cost to purchase these benefits individually is over $850 a year. Join today and take advantage of all 7 for $17 a month. They've been around for over 20 years, so check them out by clicking on the banner link on my page, thedugstewartshow.com, or the app. Just go ahead and join 7.
That's you. Yeah. That's you. That's you. Same. Who got the key to my beat? Jack move. That's how we act when we team up.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Tribute Tuesday. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com, paying homage to Reggie Noble, a.k.a. Redman, today on the show. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. Last night, Monday Night Football, man, Baltimore Ravens pull out a win. I mean, they pull a win out of their ass. 33-27 over the Cleveland Browns. The Browns were actually in position to kick a field goal and win this thing at the end of regulation. And, oh, what happens? Defensive end Brent Urban blocked a potential 51-yard field goal, and Will Hill returned it 64 yards for a touchdown as time expired last night for the Cleveland Browns. And I'm laughing, but I'm sure Cleveland Browns fans just are crying, man. They showed this stat a couple of days ago on the Puppet Factory. If for the new listeners, the Puppet Factory is ESPN. They showed this stat, man, and all of the quarterbacks that the Browns have trotted out there in like the last 10 years, man, and the list was like over 20 quarterbacks. They just got no stability. A lot of times, man, and this is just a casual observation from a sports fan, a guy that's been involved with sports his entire life. Stability in the front office, man, in sports means a lot. It does. Stability, having a game plan, having an identity, knowing what you're trying to do, knowing your goals. They always tell you you need to write your goals down. And I've been doing that ever since I was a little boy, writing my goals down. You have to be able to see it. You have to be able to materialize it. And I don't think the Cleveland Browns got a freaking darn plan. They don't have a plan. And I don't know who it was. Maybe it was Trent Dilfer, and Dilfer was one of the quarterbacks that played for the Browns throughout that whole 20-something years or whatever. And he made a good point. A lot of times I don't agree with nothing Trent Dilfer says. Not a fan at all. But he made a very good point. It seems like the Cleveland Browns and that organization makes a lot of its moves based on public sentiment. They kind of listen to, what the fans are saying, the way the wind is blowing or whatever, and some of the moves that they make for the organization. And it's just been bad, man. The Browns right now are 2-9. This is nothing new to them. This is nothing new to them. The Baltimore Ravens, who have had a ton of injuries this year, they ran down the list of the injuries that those guys got, man. It's just incredible. Steve Smith, Terrell Suggs. I mean, they just got a ton of injuries, but they're still fighting. John Harbaugh, is one of the best coaches in the NFL. I've always said that. I really believe it. I really believe he's one of the best coaches in the NFL. He doesn't get enough credit. But the Browns go down again. I get a call late last night from my, I guess you'd call him my cousin-in-law. It's my wife's cousin. And he it sounded like he was on the phone, man. It sounded like he had a gun pointed at his head or something like that. You add this whole Johnny Manziel story into the situation. The Browns don't know what the hell they're going to do. And it doesn't look like it's going to get any better. Over the last couple of years, their defense has been pretty solid in relative terms. Got some good defensive players. But it's just something wrong with the Browns. It's like they're buried on an Indian burial ground. Or the stadium's on an Indian burial ground with all of the negative things that happens to this organization ever since I've been around. Now, I'm 46 years old, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I'm 46 years old. I don't ever remember a time when the Browns were what you would call, well, I guess when they had Bernie Kosar, and they had Ernest Biner, running back that had the fumble, and they had the drive. The Denver Broncos had the drive against the Browns. They were probably like a 10, 11-team year under Kosar for a couple of years, eking into the playoffs every year for a couple of years once again. But outside of that, the whole Art Modell story, leaving Cleveland, coming back to Cleveland, they just, oh my gosh, it gotta suck to be a Browns fan. Yeah. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. It's gotta suck to be a Browns fan, man. I hate it for you. Once again, I talked about it yesterday. I am really thinking about, becoming a Carolina Panther fan. I'm gonna always stay a Falcons fan. I'm gonna always, support the Oakland Raiders. That's a team I kind of adopted a couple years. But I'm thinking about supporting the Carolina Panthers, my home team, my home state team. And this is a great opportunity to do that. Like when you had the opportunity to become a Browns fan, or if you're from Cleveland, if you're from the state of Ohio, or maybe you just decided to be a Browns fan, maybe you're from another Midwest state, and you decided to be a Browns fan, you basically sealed your fate, man. This is a very important decision in a sports fan's life, all right? A very important decision in a sports fan's life on what team they're going to support. Because, hey, you had some great days. You had some real shiny days as a Dallas Cowboy fan. But really, for the last 20 years, the Cowboys have sucked. They have. Yeah. And Dallas hadn't done nothing. Hadn't really been to the playoffs. This is just for example, since the mid-'90s. So a whole generation has gone by and seen the Dallas Cowboys basically suck. And the Browns sucked even before them, man. But they go down last night, man. Baltimore Ravens get a win. 4-7 on the year. Once again, the Browns 2-9 on the year. So it was a pretty decent game last night. I had it on the monitor. I was doing some things on the computer. But I was watching the game last night. You can imagine at the start of the season The NFL brass probably thought the Baltimore Ravens would be in a much better position. They didn't think that they'd have all the injuries that have mounted on them as well. And I don't know why they put Cleveland in. I guess they put Cleveland in it because of Johnny Manziel, and they figured Johnny Manziel would be starting. Maybe he would be winning to a degree. So, hey, Browns, Ravens, the whole Art Modell storyline and that organization, those two different organizations, I get it, kind of, sort of. Late in the season at this point, you give a flyer for the Browns and the Ravens, and it didn't work out, but it was pretty entertaining game to me. All right, 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. We got any Browns fans that listen to the show? I mean, what are y'all thinking? Maybe that Ninja is a Browns fan. He's an Ohio State fan. Ninja, are you a fan of the Cleveland Browns? I need one Cleveland Brown fan to speak up in the chat room. When we get back from the break, I'm going to talk about some birthdays. We're going to do the birthdays, as well as I'm going to get into some of your chat. Oh, yeah, and I'm probably going to sing for you coming up in the next segment as well here on the Doug Stewart Show. So get ready for that. I'm digging deep on y'all asses today. Yes, sir. I'm digging deep on y'all today for this classic tune that I'm going to sing for y'all, man. Y'all really are going to love it. Y'all are really going to love it. Trust me on this. But we'll talk some birthdays, some celebrity birthdays, and I'll jump into some of your chat. I'll read a couple of your chat messages right now here on the Doug Stewart Show on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Don't forget, later today, bonus stew right here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. We're going to talk to Joseph Bailey. He's head of the Bash movement. It's a lot of details about it. I'll tell you more about it today, and make sure you stay tuned for the interview. We got a bonus stew coming for you today starting, it's going to be around 12 p.m. today. From Uncle Luke, he says, Jerry Jones brought the Cowboys, then killed the Cowboys when he fired Jimmy Johnson. Yeah, they won a championship after he fired Jimmy Johnson. Barry Switzer won a championship probably off of Jimmy Johnson's players and the foundation that he built there in Dallas. But yeah, outside of those Super Bowls, Dallas has really been a mediocre organization. And they always talk about America's team, and Dallas has sucked. I mean, there's no other way to say it. Dallas has sucked literally since their last championship in the mid-'90s. So you're talking close to 20 years that the Dallas Cowboys have sucked. And I don't know what it's going to take for them to turn around. I said it yesterday. I really believe Johnny Manziel is going to be a Dallas Cowboy. It just makes perfect sense. Might not happen, but it makes perfect sense, So we'll get more into that. I'll read more of your chat when we get back from the break, all right? 404-382-0338. You can email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. Also, when we get back, an NBA future legend gives props to an NBA legend. Yeah. We'll talk about that up next on the Doug Stewart Show. Don't go away. Get your hands off the dial.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year,
$300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. This is your folk, Doug Stewart. Want to protect you and your family from life's unexpected mishaps? Then join 7. Join 7 is a prepaid legal company under the umbrella of the Protection Group. Join 7 is the only group benefit or motor club in the U.S. that offers auto reimbursement coverage, key replacement coverage, roadside assistance, gives you a current Medi-File, prescription savings, and fully encompassed prepaid legal benefits that include identity theft. They got your back. The average combined cost to purchase these benefits individually is over $850 a year. Join today and take advantage of all 7 for $17 a month. They've been around for over 20 years, so check them out by clicking on the banner link on my page, thedugstewartshow.com, or the app. Just go ahead and join 7.
Radio. This is Can't Wait.
Yo, this goes out to all my peoples down in the weak way section. And all my peoples in the Hooterville section. Jamaican Queens in the hit.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Paying tribute to the great Redman. So all hip-hop in the early 90s sounded just like this.
Crack the bill, spread the reels in the hit dash. Roll it up, thin dash. You chipped it for the
That's pretty much how all hip-hop sounded. And you know why a lot of the music sounds the same during an era? Is because the same producer gets all of the work. And he uses the same, sample machine and music instruments or whatever. And so everything in the early 90s, or pretty much most of the stuff in the early 90s, sounded a lot like this. Had the same melody.
Jump Street or 90210 FNO, and the movies of the brother pumping live in the background.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. This segment is brought to you by our folks from Strickland Security. That's right. Strickland Security, man. They've been around in business they have close to 55 years experience in the home alarm system business. Great guys, fantastic dudes, not trying to upsell you on a lot of stuff. If you live in Atlanta, you got to protect your house. There's just no way around it. If you can do that economically, that's a good thing. That's a win-win for everything, for everybody. And my folks at Strickland Security, man, they can give you or set you up with an alarm system starting at just $15 a month. They can fix the alarm system that you already presently have. What else can they do? They can do a bunch of stuff. They can give you all of the bells and whistles. They can give you, lights, cameras, action, all of that stuff, all right? Depending on what your budget is. These are some good guys at Strickland Security. Go online and check them out at StricklandSecurity.com. Once again, that's StricklandSecurity.com, and tell them that the Doug Stewart Show sent you. Yes, sir. Let's see. Let's look at some birthdays here on the Doug Stewart Show. Celebrating a birthday today is Janelle Monáe. Janelle Monáe turns 30 years old today. Happy birthday to her. Little cutie pie soul singer. She kind of got like a She's kind of got like a what's that chick name that sung those folk songs back in the day? She's kind of like a folksy type singer, folk songy type singer or whatever. Real cutie pie though, a little small. She kind of acted like a dude a little bit when she first came out. But happy birthday to Janelle Monáe. Let's see. Happy birthday to Deshaun Jackson, wide receiver for the Washington Redskins, turns 29 years old today. Happy birthday to him. Zoe Kravitz turns 27 years old. I'm showing a picture. They got a picture on this website I'm looking at for the birthdays. You talk about look like your mama. Man, Zoe Kravitz looks just like Lisa Bonet. Happy birthday to her. Yes, sir. If he were here today, the great Richard Pryor would have had a birthday today. Died back in 2005. Happy birthday to Richard Pryor. Golden Brooks was one of the young ladies on that. What was the name of the TV show? No, it didn't have Queen Latifah. It was kind of a show, kind of like the show Queen Latifah was on. Girlfriends. It was called Girlfriends. She celebrates her birthday today. She's actually doing some like reality show, something. I saw her on. My wife was watching something the other night. She turns 45 years old today. Happy birthday to her. And lastly, wait a minute. I didn't realize this. Lastly, if he were alive today, the great Lou Rawls would be celebrating a birthday. Happy birthday to the great Lou Rawls. Matter of fact, all right, wait a minute. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Thank you so much for joining your boys. Matter of fact, we're going to sing some Lou Rawls for you when we get back from the break. We had an issue with the music just now. But we're going to play some Lou Rawls for you when we get back from the break. Damn it. I was ready to bust out in the tune for you. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Talked a little bit about Monday Night Football last night. Want to get your thoughts on that and the Cleveland Browns. I saw a lot of chat in the chat room talking about the Cleveland Browns and their ineptitude over the last, 30 years. Want to get your thoughts on that. Also, I mentioned this briefly. Kevin Durant says that he idolized Kobe Bryant as a player growing up, adding that he was angry and is angry at the media for their treatment of the Los Angeles Lakers star. He says, quote, "I did idolize Kobe Bryant. I studied him, wanted to be like him." Durant said Monday at shoot-around in Atlanta, "He was our Michael Jordan." By the way, the Atlanta Hawks won a game last night, beating the Oklahoma City Thunder. Good win for them. We'll also talk about Golden State here in a second as well. But, yeah, he basically says that he idolized Kobe Bryant, and I was disappointed this year because you guys, the media, Kevin Durant's had some type of little ongoing war with the media for the last couple of years. Like at some point, somebody just said something to him the wrong way, and he was like, "Freak it, I can't cope," and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. So I'm going to start giving it to the media whenever I can. And sure enough, man, he says, "I was disappointed this year because you guys, the media, treated him like ish." He used the street vernacular cuss word. He's a legend, and all I hear about is how bad he's playing, how bad he's shooting, and it's time for him to hang it up. You guys treated one of our GOATs like ish, and I didn't really like it. So hopefully now you can start being nice to him now that he decided to retire after this year. I mentioned it yesterday, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, how whenever a legendary player like Kobe Bryant goes on record and retires, he in effect, starts being treated like, and people talk about him in terms of like he died. And so it's going to be interesting to see if it goes kind of down a little bit as far as the media conversation about Kobe Bryant. And now if they start throwing, rose bouquets at him for the rest of this year. He's announced that he's going to retire. So do they kind of like back off the fact that he absolutely sucks? And now listen, Kevin Durant, what he's saying, I kind of feel what he's saying, especially a guy growing up being a fan of a particular player. I get what he's saying, but make no mistake about it. Kobe Bryant has sucked this year. I mean, he has. And so, I mean, it's true. I mean, I don't know what more they can say outside of report the facts and the fact that, the man went 1 for 14 shooting. They got to talk about it. I mean, that's part of their job, kind of, sort of. They have to talk about it. So I get that. Maybe we'll see a little bit of a change in attitude and a change in the way they report talking about Kobe Bryant. Maybe they try to accentuate the positives a little bit more and not accentuate the negatives and the fact that this man is struggling, that he's old as Methuselah, that his body has forsaken him. And just remember the great times. I heard these cats on a radio show, I believe it was, talking about Kobe Bryant and where he ranks all time as far as players. Now, I don't know how you could say Kobe Bryant, at least in the last 25 years, 25, 30 years, if you go back to let's go back all the way to the late 70s, early 80s. You're talking about the Dr. J era, the Michael Jordan era. Over the last 25 years, I don't see how you could say Kobe Bryant didn't win in the top 5 players in that time frame, even if you're a Kobe Bryant hater. I mean, skill-wise, he has the skill, he played great defense, and he has the hardware, okay? And so I always say, and I think most people agree with me, the best player since Michael Jordan, the best guy or the closest thing to Michael Jordan since Michael Jordan. I talked about this yesterday. And so to me, Kobe falls into that. And if you talk about greatest Lakers of all times, it's strange to me how they always say Kobe is, or people are saying recently because of this announcement, and Kobe Bryant's the second best player in LA history behind Magic Johnson. Why does everybody forget about Kareem? I talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Why does everybody just discount Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? Maybe it's because he's a 7-footer and they feel like that he does it so easy. Those guys this morning, once again on the Puppet Factory, were saying that they would take Tim Duncan over the last 20 years as the best player in the last 20 years in comparison to Kobe Bryant. I don't get that at all. So, in one hand, you're saying Tim Duncan is a better player than Kobe Bryant, but then in the same breath, you say that Kobe Bryant's a better player than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. But Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was a better player than Duncan, right? So it's really a lot of times on the biases, and once again, I know Kareem gets a lot of flack because of his personality, and really and truly, I kind of get that because Kareem is a curmudgeon, but Kareem's probably one of the top 2 or 3 basketball players to ever play the game. He should probably be in there right behind, Magic and right behind Jordan, but he doesn't get the love. You would say you take Tim Duncan over Kobe Bryant? No, Tim Duncan was a great player, but he ain't no Kobe Bryant. Skill-wise, he's not a Kobe Bryant. Tim Duncan's a fantastic player, probably top 5, maybe top 10 player of all time. But skill-wise, if you say Jordan's the greatest player of all time, then you have to say Kobe Bryant, the closest thing to Jordan, is a better basketball player, has been a better complete basketball player, in my opinion, to Tim Duncan over the last 20 years. What are your thoughts on that? Do you agree or disagree? 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. When we get back from the break, I'm going to read chat. That's all I'm going to do when we get back. Hopefully we can get this music all straightened out and I can sing some Lou Rawls for y'all. Damn it. Yeah, we had a little glitch right there. So I let the cat out of the bag. I was going to sing some Lou Rawls for you, but we had a little mess up on the music or whatever. All right, so when we get back from the break, man, we'll jump into your chat, get your thoughts on the Bean, get your thoughts on what Kevin Durant had to say about him, also Monday Night Football, and we got to talk about Jahlil Okafor. Basketball players shouldn't fight, man. I mean, seriously. Not only should they not fight, but I don't think they can fight. They're too awkward. They're too long. I mean, they don't have complete control of their limbs. If you saw the video of Jahlil Okafor, man, yeah, we'll talk about that up next on the Doug Stewart Show. Don't go away. Keep it locked. Do you have your own radio show? Are you an artist or a DJ? BB Mobile Apps is the solution for you. They specialize in creating mobile apps for entertainers. That's right. You can have your own mobile app where your followers can hear your shows or music, watch your videos, and view all your social networks in one place. You can even make money with banner ads and send push notifications directly to your audience to make sure they get your messages. Everyone has their phones on them, right?
A mobile app will add credibility to your brand because your content will be accessible to them while they're on the go. BB Mobile Apps also makes apps for bloggers, actors, and producers. The process only takes about 20 minutes. Just go to bbmobileapps.com and click Get Started Now. That's bbmobileapps.com and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt. Specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your #1 advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Happy birthday to the great Lou Rawls. Celebrating his birthday today on the Doug Stewart Show. So we're going to give y'all a song. This is what I do. Happy birthday, Lou Rawls. I can hear this in my daddy. Deuce and a quarter back in 79. Happy birthday. Dab on them folks, Cam. Dab. 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 All right, let's go. You'll never find, as long as you live, someone who loves you tender like I do. Yes, sir. You'll never find, no matter where you search, someone who cares about you the way I do. Oh, I'm not bragging on myself, baby, but I'm the one who loves you, and there's no one else. No one else. No one else. Nobody wants your ass. You'll never find, it'll take the end of all time, someone to understand you like I do. Yes, sir. You'll never find the rhythm, the rhyme, all the magic we shared, just us two. Oh, I'm not trying to make you stay, baby, but I know somehow, someday, you're gonna miss my loving. You're gonna miss my loving.
You're gonna miss my loving. You're gonna miss my love. Whoa, 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 whoa. Late in the midnight hour, when it's cold outside. Yeah, you're gonna miss my love. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Show y'all my range. We can go all the way to falsetto to baritone. Yes, sir. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. That's how we do it around here. We talk sports, we talk entertainment, and every once in a while I'll even sing for your ass. Oh, man. Shouts out to all of the Stewies in the chat room. Oh, shouts out to all of the Stewies in the chat room. Oh, my gosh. All right, so we got the music all straightened out there during the break. And I practiced all night. You know, I was in the studio with my singing teacher. I was like, man, I got to get this off. I got to get this off today. So we had a little issue with the music, and God helped us. God helped you, the listener, get that music straight. So I gave you a little rendition, man. The great Lou Rawls. Rest in peace. I didn't know he was dead, though. I thought he was still around. Oh, man. Oh, thank you. T-Dub is in the chat room. Shouts out to the great T-Dub. T-Dub is in the chat room giving me all types of kudos about my singing. Thank you, T-Dub. Oh, man. Thank you, brother. Kim Jane. She says, yes, Doug, you're beautiful. Thank you. Mocha Bella, Doug. Yes, yes, yes. From Kaza, the boss just gave a yelp in here saying, praise God for Doug Stewart and his singing. Thank you, Kaza. K3000 with the usual avatars with fire and clapping. Thank you, 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 thank you. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. I mentioned it before we went to a break, when we went to the break, about Jahlil Okafor. Jahlil Okafor, man, he going through something right now, right? Huh? Dude was in a street fight in Philadelphia. First of all, let me stop right there and just give my thoughts on that. That in itself really could have ended his life. I mean, to be honest with you, you're talking about Philadelphia, one of the grimiest places in the world. One of my best friends in life is from Philadelphia. He's probably listening to the show right now, man. They like Master P said in Philadelphia, they bout it around there. So basically, Jahlil Okafor got into some type of skirmish disagreement with a dude, and there's actually video of it. Number one draft pick of the Philadelphia 76ers. Obviously, they're going to try to build around him, which is going to be a tough task in itself. I just talked about, bad organizations for a long, long time. In Philadelphia, they didn't used to be in this category, but they've been bad ever since Allen Iverson left Philadelphia. They were pretty solid during the Allen Iverson years. Hell, they even went to a championship. But ever since then, they've just been bad. They've never been able to recover, to replenish the talent level. But they're just bad right now. So this guy, Jahlil Okafor, out of Duke, fantastic player, has a great skill set, once again, is arguing with a dude, several dudes that looked like that they jumped on him, like they teamed up on him, if you see the video. He's going to turn 20 years old at this month. He was caught on video engaging in a brawl with a man outside a Boston nightclub early Thursday morning. A lot of people will tell you that's a problem in itself, that he's late in the morning in a nightclub in Boston. You remember that's where Paul Pierce got stabbed up at. So they for real in Boston as well. But no charges have been filed. The fight in Boston followed an October incident in which a heckler pointed a gun at Okafor's head during a verbal exchange at a club in Philadelphia, what I was talking about earlier. So this man's been in the NBA for a couple of months. He's already had a gun pointed at him. I'm assuming because of some type of disagreement or some type of, war of words with some dude in Philadelphia now. Keep this in mind. This is Philadelphia. And he got into a fight outside of a nightclub. what's going on with Jahlil Okafor. And if you saw the video, it ain't that serious. Like, I don't understand, and I always talk about this too. I don't understand what could make you so mad as a professional athlete, not just a scrub professional athlete, but a high-profile professional athlete with tremendous upside and a pocket full of money for you to get into some type of war of words with a dude on the street. You know, what could anybody say to you? And Barkley always gets into these fights. He used to get into these fights because his thing was he just wasn't going to let people talk to him any old kind of way. Why? Why you care? Why would you care? And Jahlil Okafor, man, young kid, man, only 1 year in college at Duke, shot to the NBA. Once again, a tremendous player. I'm real mad. I'm kind of upset right now that we took D'Angelo Russell, talking about it as a Laker fan, over Jahlil Okafor. I think he was the guy to pick and to build around, but that's not going to happen, obviously, right now. But why? And so now the story is coming out that they're going to provide security for dude all day and all night at all times going forward, at least this year with the organization. It's just real sad, man, and it's crazy because, and I don't understand, I guess you have to have pride to be that elite of an athlete. You have to, stick up for yourself. You have to have a tough mentality to a degree. But I really don't care what a lot of people say about me already, and I don't have any I don't have any money. I can only imagine how much I wouldn't care what anybody thought about me if I had a pocket full of money. You feel me? And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I just don't get it. So hopefully this man can turn things around, man, and get his head on straight and realize that it's real out here in the field. A lot of these young boys, man, if he would have rolled up on the wrong dude at that bar in Boston, I mean, he could easily be dead right now. I mean, I'm not sugarcoating it at all. He could easily be dead right now. You could talk about the incident with the guy pulled a gun on him. Like, how do you get in a position to have a dude, just a dude on the street, be able to get close enough to you where he can pull a gun on you in a nightclub or outside of a nightclub, whatever it may be? You got a pocket full of money once again. You got to be able to protect yourself. And you got to understand that there's haters out there. From J. Rob, he says the Okafor situation is a direct result of the ineptitude of the 76ers organization. Okafor is used to wins, not losses. Depression has set in, and that is called the organizational culture needs to be changed. If the owner is not aware of this, then one has to question the owner. The GM needs to go, as well as the president of basketball operations and anyone else tied to their current organizational strategy. That might have to happen. They might have to start from scratch, and they drafted Joel Embiid a couple of years ago. They've had a couple of high-profile players, obviously, because they always draft at the top of the draft, And, the fact that they're struggling and have been struggling for so long, man, is crazy. And you're talking about a proud organization, a proud franchise, and a proud fan base in Philadelphia. What? Moses Malone, Dr. J, Caldwell Jones, the great Caldwell Jones, Andrew Toney, just a plethora of great players in a tremendous era of basketball has all just gone by the wayside in Philadelphia. And it's really sad. I mean, Philadelphia is the Cleveland Browns of the NBA right now. That's pretty much what they've been. So it's really sad, man. And pray for this young man. Pray for his soul that he can figure it out real quick before them streets show him what the deal is. All right, 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. When we get back from the break, man, I know y'all still in heaven after hearing me sing some Lou Rawls for you. But we got to move on. I mean, I know we can sit here and talk about me singing all day long, but listen, we got to move on with the show. Thank you, though. Thank you for all of the kudos in the chat room. I really do appreciate that. Because of you, I sing. Yes, sir. All right, don't go away. When we get back from the break, the top of the hour, I'll read more of your chat. And the Golden State Warriors keep on trucking. Don't go away. The Doug Stewart Show. Yes, sir.
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt, specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your #1 advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
Do you have your own radio show? Are you an artist or a DJ? BB Mobile Apps is the solution for you. They specialize in creating mobile apps for entertainers. That's right. You can have your own mobile app where your followers can hear your shows or music, watch your videos, and view all your social networks in one place. You can even make money with banner ads and send push notifications directly to your audience to make sure they get your messages. Everyone has their phones on them, right? A mobile app will add credibility to your brand because your content will be accessible to them while they're on the go. BB Mobile Apps also makes apps for bloggers, actors, and producers. The process only takes about 20 minutes. Just go to bbmobileapps.com and click Get Started Now. That's bbmobileapps.com and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
Hour number 2, baby. You're locked and loaded and listening to the Doug Stewart Show, the realest, trillest sports and guy talk show in America. College football playoff rankings come out today. Can't wait to see what those are. I'm looking at the top 10 right now. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Thank you so much for joining me. Hour number 2. Don't forget, a little bit later, Bonus Stew. We're going to talk to owner, CEO, founder of the Bailey Bash, Joseph Bailey, actually a homeboy of mine, doing big things from the low country of South Carolina. Has got a real interesting concept and idea that he's efforting. And so we're going to talk to him about that. It's all about giving back to the community. So stay tuned for that interview a little bit later. Bonus Stew right here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. But let me look at these top 10 teams. And I wanted to talk about the college football playoff rankings. I'm going to get to some of your chat messages here in a second, your chat posts. But they got the playoff rankings coming out a little bit later today. Number 10 is Michigan. As it stands right now, number 10 is Michigan. You know what happened. They just got blown out by Ohio State, so they're out. Stanford is number 9. They just had the win against Notre Dame in dramatic fashion. But the problem with Stanford is they've already got 2 losses, so I think that they're out. Even at this point in the season, I think they're done. Then you've got Ohio State, which is very interesting. At number 8 right now, just blew out Michigan, 42-13. And the thing about Ohio State, and I'm trying to be as non-biased as I can, being an Ohio State hater. You know, I'm being an analyst right now. the issue with Ohio State, or the thing about Ohio State with me is they have one loss. That's all that they have is one loss, and they've been playing better over the last couple of weeks, the last 2 weeks, even though they did have the loss against Michigan State in dramatic fashion. But that loss to Michigan State is a very good loss in my book, So why is it Ohio State dropped so much? And maybe it has something to do with the time of the losses. Why did they drop so much to number 8? And Alabama has one loss, which is a worse loss than Ohio State's loss. And I know it gets kind of confusing. Why are they number 2 and Ohio State, that just won the national championship, has the best talent per the complete team, more so than anybody else in the country? Why are they all the way at number 8? Why did they drop so much? All right, so you got them at number 8. I think they should be in play, but it might be tough for them at this point. Then you got Baylor at number 7. What's the deal? And I'm not exactly sure who's even – no, they don't have – that's right. They don't have a conference championship in the Big 12. So that's been the issue with the Big 12 over the last couple of years, is that they don't actually settle it on the field. So that's going to hurt them to a degree. Baylor's probably not going to have a chance to jump up any more spots and get into the Final Four. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Same thing probably with Notre Dame. Even though they're 10-1, they aren't going to play in a conference championship. So the spot that they're at right now at number 6 doesn't lend itself for them jumping enough spaces. All right? Then you got Michigan State and Iowa at 5 and 6. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. So they're going to take on each other in the Big Ten Championship. Clearly, one of those teams is going to be in the Final Four. One of those teams going to get spots. So I'm going to write down their name. Where's my big-ass pen? And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I'm going to go ahead and write down Michigan State. I'm just going to put down the Big Ten. The Big Ten's got a spot. It's either going to be Michigan State or it's going to be Iowa. Okay, they're going to get one of the spots. Then you've got Oklahoma, who a lot of people feel like is playing the best football in college football right now. They're at number 3. They don't play a conference championship. Once again, the Big 12. But they're Oklahoma, Bob Stoops. They're at number 3 right now. Even though they don't play a conference championship, can they sustain? Can they stay there with everything else happening with the other teams in the top 10? Okay, so we'll put down Oklahoma because I'm going to put a star by them, Oklahoma. And big-ass star. Okay, and then you look at number 2, Alabama. Okay, Alabama taking on Florida in the SEC championship game. What if they were to lose that game? I don't think they will. They probably will roll. Florida doesn't look like a good team at all. They got drubbed last week by Florida State, 27-2. So Alabama's probably going to win that game. I'm just going to take it for granted that they're going to win that game, and Alabama is going to stay in the Final Four rankings, okay? So you got Alabama. You got the Big Ten Championship. Those two teams, I think, are in. They're going to get in. Then you got Clemson at number 1, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, from the state of South Carolina, rooted for the Clemson Tigers my entire life, and the South Carolina Gamecocks. If they played each other, I probably would be a Gamecocks fan whenever they play each other annually. But they're from South Carolina, so I'm rooting for them. But to be honest with you, I would have Alabama as the best team in college football because of the eye test and because of the competition played, them being in the SEC. I think Alabama's the best team in the country right now if I had to rank them. Clemson, to me, man, hasn't looked overly impressive over the last couple of weeks. And I know that might be blasphemy for my South Carolina people. Yeah. But Clemson really hasn't looked dominant. But they're going to play the North Carolina Tar Heels in the ACC championship game. They should win. So Clemson's going to get in. I'm going to take for granted Clemson's going to get in. Okay? So you got Clemson. I think they'll win against North Carolina. You got Clemson. You got Alabama. You got the Big Ten championship. And then should you put in Oklahoma? Or something crazy happens. What if North Carolina finds a way to beat Clemson? Does North Carolina, being the conference championship team, only having one loss on the season, do they jump up as many spots? And we got to find out where they're going to be at today when the poll comes out. Do they go up from 14 to they should jump over Florida State because Florida State has 2 losses. Florida has 1 loss. Florida got drubbed last week. Oklahoma State got drubbed against Oklahoma. Then you got Michigan, who got drubbed. So they should jump over Florida State, Florida, Oklahoma State, Michigan. Stanford has 2 losses. Should they jump over them today or not? It gets very convoluted at this point. Bottom line is, it would take a lot for North Carolina, even if they beat Clemson, which is it's going to be a great win. They beat the number 1 team in the country, a team that's been number 1 for the last couple of weeks. It can happen, I think, if they weight this thing and they say, man, that's a great win. They won their conference championship. They won all their games despite losing the first game of the year to the South Carolina Gamecocks. And they beat the number 1 team in the country that's been that way for the last 5-6 weeks. Maybe North Carolina jumps into the Final Four. I think it's going to be tough, but I cannot wait to see the day, man. I can't wait to see the day. Yeah. And it doesn't matter until the absolute final week, but this is what we do in this industry is we talk about the games. We talk about what ifs. I mean, it's barbershop talk. That's what we do here on the Doug Stewart Show, all right? Let me read some of your chat. From Corey, he says, Bama wins championships when they depend on their defense and run the ball, not when they rely on their quarterback. Hopefully Lane Kiffin learned that lesson last year. I agree. I tend to agree with you, sir. They can run the ball with Derrick Henry. They got a quarterback right now. The Coca kid is basically a game manager. They have solid defense. They have great coaching. Defensively, the problem with Alabama that they run into and have been running into for the last couple of years is they play against a team that runs a spread offense, and, it takes a lot of their personnel off the field. Those big uglies they got on the defensive line and those big bruising linebackers that they always employ, they're kind of nullified when you got 4 and 5 wide receivers out there and you got a running quarterback. So that's the teams that they've struggled with. If they play a team like Oklahoma with the Baker's Mayfield kid, or if they play a team like Clemson with Deshaun Watson, Alabama, they could be in trouble. Now, I think talent-wise, and that's another part of this whole thing and how they determine these teams and these rankings, I don't think they'll admit it, but I think they look at talent. I look at talent, I look at talent. I look at the players. I look at your roster, and I see guys that are going to play in the NFL and guys that aren't. I mean, it's real. And whether it's conscious or subconscious, I think that they do that. And so I look at Alabama's players. They got a roster full of guys that's going to play in the league. And I look at Iowa's team, and even though they're undefeated and they're kicking everybody's ass, they don't have they got maybe 1 or 2 guys that might play in the NFL. So, yeah, I'm thinking Alabama's the best team. So you got to handle it on the field. So we'll see what happens if Alabama has to play a team like the Clemson Tigers with Deshaun Watson with a running-style quarterback where they spread the field, and it kind of nullifies, once again, their personnel on defense. That's been the issue with Alabama over the last couple of years, if they've had any issues. I mean, they always win 10, 11 games. So we'll see. All right, when we get back from the break, I'm going to read chat. That's all I'm going to do when we get back from the break. That's all I'm going to do is read chat when we get back from the break. What are your thoughts on the college football playoff rankings? How do you think this thing is going to play out? Real sports talk, real opinions, right here on the Doug Stewart Show. Don't go away. Do you have your own radio show? Are you an artist or a DJ? BB Mobile Apps is the solution for you. They specialize in creating mobile apps for entertainers. That's right. You can have your own mobile app where your followers can hear your shows or music, watch your videos, and view all your social networks in one place. You can even make money with banner ads and send push notifications directly to your audience to make sure they get your messages. Everyone has their phones on them, right? A mobile app will add credibility to your brand because your content will be accessible to them while they're on the go. BB Mobile Apps also makes apps for bloggers, actors, and producers. The process only takes about 20 minutes. Just go to bbmobileapps.com and click Get Started Now. That's bbmobileapps.com and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you.
I believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt. Specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your #1 advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
Action! Go, girl, follow Reggie. #1.
Pick it up, pick it up. Pick it up, pick it up.
The world's heavyweight champion of sports and guy talk radio. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Thank you for joining your folk.
Everybody tell me what you gonna do. Pick it up, pick it up.
Redman and Method Man, I believe. They had a little thing going on for a couple of years. Did movies together, rap together. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. Do you or anyone you know need to promote their business, a product they have, an event they got coming up or something like that, man? We can interview you on my show. We can promote you on social media. We do voiceovers here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. We can broadcast your show on the network, which is big. Shouts out to my man Kesey and Poe on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. We can host or speak at your event, play your music on our show, design flyers. We can do it all right here with SME, Stewart Media and Entertainment. Yeah. Don't forget, we got close to 10,000 followers. We're going to pass that, I believe, next week. So we got a big voice out here, man, in the sports and entertainment industry. So close to 10,000 followers, over 300,000 listens to the network. You can promote here on the Doug Stewart Show as well as the 2 Live Stews. So if you or someone you know, once again, would like to get down and do business with the Doug Stewart Show or the 2 Live Stews, email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes, sir. Thank you, studio audience. Studio audience feeling good today, man. They got to hear me sing. We talking to sports. We having a good time. I'm going to read some of your chat here. From D. Finley. D. Finley says, Bama has a better record against better competition. Point blank, end of story. I heard these cats this morning trying to argue that they don't have a great win against great competition. But here's the thing. They play in the SEC. So cumulatively, they have a better record, or a lot of the opponents that you would call average, just because you're looking at it from the outside in, they're good wins. And Alabama got the big win at the start of the season over Wisconsin. They beat Georgia when Georgia wasn't, exposed as being a bad team. A lot of the wins that Alabama got, and listen, I'm not an Alabama fan. I'm just giving credit where credit's due. And once again, I'm looking at the team, I'm looking at the personnel, and I'm using the eye test. Not only do they have a great record there in the SEC, they got 1 loss, but they beat everybody they put in front of them. And a lot of these teams that you look at now, you're saying aren't that great, or people are saying that aren't that great, a lot of these teams in the SEC would beat a lot of the very good teams in other conferences, in my personal belief. maybe I am an SEC homer to a degree, but I really do feel like they have the best talent and they handle their business on the field. Don't talk about the program in itself with Nick Saban, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, with the coaching staff, legendary coach Nick Saban, Kirby Smart down there at Alabama, who we'll talk about here in a second, might be the next head coach of the Georgia Bulldogs. But they got the players, man. They got the players. From KC, North Carolina would be a one-loss team, a conference championship, and their only loss was the first game of the year. Why not them? The problem, just like I talked about the image of Alabama and these teams in the SEC, the problem with North Carolina is they have an image problem. We look at North Carolina as a basketball school. Now, I know you can boo all you want, studio audience, but that's the truth. The problem with North Carolina is they are a basketball school. They play in a weaker conference in the ACC in relative terms. Most people feel like that the ACC, not only is North Carolina a basketball school, but the ACC is kind of viewed upon as a basketball conference. So, it's tough on teams like Georgia Tech and North Carolina and Wake Forest because, first of all, they don't have a big enough brand to be talked about at the beginning of the year and looked upon and viewed upon as one of the elite college football programs. So they're working against that. But if they win, if they beat Clemson, that's the best quality win you're going to get from a college football team this year. If you beat the number one team in the Clemson Tigers that have been number one for, once again, like 5 or 6 weeks, if you beat them on a neutral field in the ACC championship game, I think they got a claim. I don't know if they're going to jump up enough. I just talked about it, but I think they got a claim. From Al Thompson, hopefully he hasn't Corey. Throw that ball. Saban forgot about Henry. I guess they're talking about how Alabama seems like over the last couple of years under Lane Kiffin have been enamored with throwing the football. They threw the ball a ton last year with Blake Sims. They had T.J. Yeldon, who wasn't a slacker at the running back position, but they threw the ball a lot over the last couple of years, especially last year with Blake Sims, who was a good quarterback, very good quarterback, had great stats. This year it seems like, they got the horse in Derrick Henry, and they've kind of backed off of passing the ball a gazillion times, and they're just feeding the big running back. From Corey, Bama wins championships when they defend on their defense and run the ball. I guess this is the response to this post here that I read earlier. Not when they rely on their quarterback. Hopefully Lane Kiffin learned that last year. Maybe I even read that one already. From RC, I played Doug this week in fantasy football. If I win, I'm in the playoffs. If I lose, I might be done. Damn it. And I'm glad you reminded me. How much time we got left? I'm glad you reminded me, and I didn't mean to forget last week, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. But your boy took it on the chin again. I lost this week in fantasy football again. Damn it. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. So I'm going to try to pull up this. As a matter of fact, we'll hold it until the end. We'll hold it until the next segment. We'll get back into the fantasy football talk. I give a report every week about fantasy football, the Doug Stewart Show Fantasy Football League. And, man, I've been getting my ass kicked the last couple of weeks. And I'm not going to sit here and make excuses. But if I made excuses, I can talk about my injuries. I can talk about bye weeks coming at inopportune times. It's just a lot of stuff I could say if I made excuses, but I don't do that. But I'll give you a report on what went down after this past week in the world of the Doug Stewart Show Fantasy Football League. From Grego, he says, can a team trade coaches? Just saw something that says Chip Kelly would be traded to the Titans. I think I've heard of such a thing before. Crazy type trades. Does it happen? Like, I can't even think of that many times. I can't think of a time where that actually has happened. I'm sure it's something to that degree. You always hear about these crazy trades where a team will trade a baseball player and a bucket of balls. That's actually happened before. So, I don't know. I mean, obviously Chip Kelly it seems like he's enamored with being, reconnected with Marcus Mariota. Philadelphia don't want him no more. I mean, clearly Philadelphia don't want him. Maybe that's possible. You know where else I would like to see Chip Kelly? Once again, for the record, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, I think Chip Kelly is a great coach, a great college coach. He may even be a great NFL coach based on his record for the first couple of years in Philadelphia. They won games, but he won most of those games with good players. I don't know what the hell he was thinking about when getting rid of his best players for average players. We talk about that all the time. He's a great coach. Now that they've made the decision that this guy, Clay Helton, is going to be the head coach going forward at SC for the Trojans, that's out of the window. I thought that was a perfect match for Chip Kelly, going back to the Pac-10 and coaching USC, the team that has access to the best talent on the western part of this country. That's not going to happen. They're going to keep Clay Helton. Congratulations to him. Seems like the players liked him. So good for him. And listen, I'm a guy that was on record saying that the Georgia Bulldogs should move on from Mark Richt. They have done that. No disrespect to him. I would like to see Chip Kelly come to Georgia. If Georgia's in the winning football game business and want to make a splash, I would like to see him go to Georgia. Me being a Miami Hurricanes fan from back in the day, I would love to see him go to Miami. Both places. Now, Oregon they've stepped up their recruiting efforts over the last couple of years. They've got all of the greatest facilities in the world, all, enabled by the great Phil Knight from Nike, But it's Oregon. It's Oregon. If they could get the type of players that they got for many years at Oregon and have the success that they had at Oregon when Chip Kelly was the head coach, imagine what they could do with all the resources and all the talent in South Florida for Miami or the state of Georgia. Once again, Mark Richt has more NFL players over the last 10 years, I believe the stat was, than any other team in college football, any other coach over the last 10 years, but hadn't won a national championship. They got talent in the state of Georgia, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. They got talent in the state of Georgia. They do. Chip Kelly with Georgia talent, Georgia defensive talent as well, high school kids that play defensive tackles, big uglies, as I said earlier, for the Georgia Bulldogs. Chip Kelly in Georgia? Chip Kelly in Miami? I would love it. I would absolutely love it. Now, does it seem kind of odd, Chip Kelly coaching in the SEC? Not that much. Not that much. If you can recruit, you can recruit. And kids would probably love to come play for Chip Kelly offensively because they've seen over the last couple of years what he likes to do. That's right up a lot of these kids' alleys. Yeah. So we'll see, man. USC is off the table. Georgia or Miami. And a lot of people still think Chip Kelly's still going to be the coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't see why that's going to happen or how that can happen. No way possible. It's just a bad chemistry right now. Bad blood. They're losing games. I don't see that happening. It's a lot of money on the line, but they're going to buy him out. I think they'll buy him out. He'll make a ton of money in the buyout, and he'll make a ton of money with whatever team he signs with in college football. What are your thoughts on that? When we get back from the break, more of your chat, and we'll talk a little bit about what happened this weekend in the world of boxing. I didn't hit it yesterday. Don't go away. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. Do you have your own radio show? Are you an artist or a DJ?
BB Mobile Apps is the solution for you. They specialize in creating mobile apps for entertainers. That's right. You can have your own mobile app where your followers can hear your shows or music, watch your videos, and view all your social networks in one place. You can even make money with banner ads and send push notifications directly to your audience to make sure they get your messages. Everyone has their phones on them, right? A mobile app will add credibility to your brand because your content will be accessible to them while they're on the go. BB Mobile Apps also makes apps for bloggers, actors, and producers. The process only takes about 20 minutes. Just go to bbmobileapps.com and click Get Started Now. That's bbmobileapps.com and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you. This is your folk, Doug Stewart. Want to protect you and your family from life's unexpected mishaps? Then join 7. Join 7 is a prepaid legal company under the umbrella of the Protection Group. Join 7 is the only group benefit or motor club in the U.S. that offers auto reimbursement coverage, key replacement coverage, roadside assistance, gives you a current Medi-File, prescription savings, and fully encompassed prepaid legal benefits that include identity theft. They got your back. The average combined cost to purchase these benefits individually is over $850 a year. Join today and take advantage of all 7 for $17 a month. They've been around for over 20 years, so check them out by clicking on the banner link on my page, thedougstewartshow.com, or the app. Just go ahead and join 7.
Once was a dream, could have been a king.
Still step out, dress to kill. What up, guy? What the deal? Clock the squill, the MC overkill.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Shouts out to all of the Stewies in the chat room. Hey, do your boy a favor, man. Pass the word. Tell at least one person about the Doug Stewart Show, and God will bless you. Yes, he will. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. I didn't talk about it at all this weekend. The fight this past weekend as Vladimir Klitschko loses his belt to Tyson Fury. I guess he gets a late ball award. Dude's got a little bit of personality too. What, 6'8"? And you don't find a lot of people, a lot of dudes bigger than them Klitschko boys, Vladimir and Vitaly. I haven't heard from Vitaly in a long time. But Vladimir basically dominated the heavyweight division and held his belt for, I think they said, 9 years. And it's kind of sad when you think about it, being a boxing fan and growing up in the great old US of A, how bad the heavyweight division has become for our American boxers. But yeah, Tyson Fury is your new heavyweight champion of the world. I never heard the dude, I got to be honest with you. And I call myself a fight fan, a boxing fan, but I ain't know anything about no damn Tyson Fury. But dude went out there, handled his business, man. Decisive win over Vladimir Klitschko. Now is the new heavyweight champion of the world. Story came out on yesterday saying that he was suspicious that Klitschko's camp was going to drug him or, put something in his water in his locker room. So, they do post-fight drug tests. And so he would fail a drug test. So he said that after the fight, someone had tipped him off. Some mysterious person had tipped him off not to drink anything, that they were going to try to drug him, that they were going to cheat his ass. And we always got this impression of Russian athletes of being cheaters. And I think it goes back to one of them first Rocky movies with Ivan Drago. You remember Drago was taking the steroids or whatever. But we have this impression, I guess it's not just us as Americans, that the Russians are always trying to cheat our ass. And word on the street is they were trying to spike his drink so that he would fail a drug test, so he didn't drink anything till he left the arena. Dude said he was totally hydrated or dehydrated because he would not drink anything. And so very interesting story, man. And we got a new heavyweight champion. Once again now, I mean, don't boo. Don't be like that. Don't be like that. Don't be like that. Very interesting story on how boxing has just gone down. And I always tell people whenever I have this discussion with dudes in the barbershop or whatever, or on the show or whatever, that the difference between today and 30 years ago is, I guess, the celebrity that you gain and the money that you can make from football as compared to boxing and what you have to go through to be a boxer. Boxing's for hungry people. Boxing's kind of like always been the way to get out of a bad situation. You know, you might not have had a football team to go and play with and teammates and all like that, but you can damn sure fight. You can use your hands and get out of a bad situation. And today it's not like that with the prominence of football and the brand that football has and the NFL has and how big college football is. Our heavyweight boxers are defensive ends right now in the NFL. Like, look at Cam Newton, the perfect example. Cam Newton, 6'5", 260 pounds. Cam Newton is a heavyweight boxer, but he's playing football. He's playing quarterback. And so it's just a different day and time. What tickles our fancy as sports fans and as competitors at a young age is being really nurtured through Little League sports and football in particular. And the presence of boxing and boxing gyms, man, just isn't what it was. And the prestige of being a heavyweight champion of the world, cats, and maybe part of it as well, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, maybe part of it as well is the fact that dudes just don't want to get hit in the head for a living. You know, we got a lot more information and knowledge about concussions and, brain trauma in 2015. And once again, defensive ends, defensive tackles, Cam Newtons of the world, big dudes like that are athletic as hell, they'd rather put on some pads and go out there and give it a shot playing football than stand in the ring and get punched in the freaking nose for a living. I mean, maybe that has something to do with it as well. What are your thoughts? 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. Let me read some, I'm sorry. Let me get to this fantasy football stuff. It just seemed like 2 weeks ago I was number one in the Doug Stewart Show Fantasy League, and I think I've lost 4 out of my last 5. And things have really been tough, man. I go down this weekend to the great Texas tie, 107-68. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Congratulations, Texas tie. Great performance, great outing by Ben Roethlisberger. He had Carson Palmer. It still wasn't enough. I just didn't get any production out of cats like Randall Cobb, Hopkins, the Hopkins kid for Houston had a bad week for me. Andre Ellington, I had to start him because I had injuries at the running back position. Who was my running back that I had to bench? Devontae Freeman was my running back. He didn't play. So it was just a tough week of me. I'm not making any excuses. Congratulations, Texas Tide, on a great win over the Fantasy Brother. You deserve it. The green team beats Tar Heel Blue 120-93. Bussers Blue Phi beats Fell Pay 103-66. Stringer beats RC's Purple Gang 91-74. Congratulations to all you guys on these victories. Yes, sir. 9-0 the Rhino they beat Star-Lord 73-63. Dobby the Great beats Run CNC 133-87. As a matter of fact, let me make sure. Yes, Dobby the Great is this week's high point scorer. Congratulations to you, sir. Pat on the back. And Rail Scott squad ekes out a win to beat Below the Belt 62-55. Congratulations to all of y'all for the victory. Once again, the high point scorer for the week is Dobby the Great with 133 points. Ball award to him. And the low point scorer this week goes to Below the Belt. 55 points. Now, as Below the Belt, I always get confused. Is Below the Belt the team that has been struggling for the last couple of weeks. I told him just to go ahead and sell his damn franchise because they don't have a chance. I can't remember. But shame on you below the belt. You only put up 55 points. Now, to be honest with you, I wasn't that far behind, but we had extenuating circumstances, damn it. So congratulations to all of the fantasy winners from this week. Let me look at the standings right now. Number 1 in the league is Texas Tide. Wow. I was just number 1. Number 1 is Texas Tide. Number 2 in the league is 9-0 the Rhino. Both these guys got 9-3 records. As a matter of fact, Ralph Scott's squad, there's a 3-way tie, actually. 3 teams, Texas Tide, 9-0 the Rhino, and Ralph Scott's squad all have 9-3 records. There's a 3-way tie for first place. And I, the Fighting TDSSs, am hanging on to the 4th spot. I think 4 teams make it to the playoffs. Right now, I'm hanging on by dear threads. My dear life is the way that thing goes. Oh, boy. Let me read some of your chat here, man. Congratulations to everybody that had a good week in fantasy sports this week, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. From Dobby, Sandman, did you see the Wilder's last fight against that Russian tree stump? Tooth and nail. Wilder's not there just yet. Yeah, Deontay Wilder, we had him on the show before here on the Doug Stewart Show. He's one of those classic athletes that took up boxing late in his life. You can tell he's just not fluid. I'm rooting for him, obviously. I want to see a heavyweight champ in this country. But he technically is very, what's the word I'm looking for? Raw. That's the word I'm looking for. Because he was a football player from Alabama. And he doesn't look like a natural fighter, like a cat that's been fighting Golden Gloves and, since he was 10 years old. He's solid. I mean, obviously he has all the physical attributes to be good. But he's kind of raw to be in the heavyweight division. Let's see who we got here. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. From Texas Tie, Dollars. Jungle has some rules in that other league that kick my ass from one chance. But my one question is, who in the world is playing in college this year at the quarterback position that's any good? Like, who can the Falcons draft? Coker, laugh out loud, he sucks. I mean, everybody's talking about the Mayfield kid at Oklahoma. I haven't seen enough of him, to be honest with you, to determine whether he's a great quarterback. Yeah, seemingly this is a down year for quarterbacks. I don't hear any names, prevalently that everybody's talking about that's going to be the next, big quarterback prospect in the NFL. Every year you have a Peyton Manning or an Andrew Luck or a Cam Newton or somebody like that. There's nobody's name that just rings out in college football that you look at that's going to be a high first-round draft pick that I can think of right now that's going to play at the next level. So we'll keep our eyes on that. All right, 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. This is the Doug Stewart Show. We got a caller on the line. Caller, hold the line. We'll get you as soon as we get back from the break. But when we get back, we'll continue reading your chat, getting your thoughts on these stories we've talked about in the world of sports. In about 15 minutes from now, we're going to talk to Joseph Bailey. That's right, owner of the Bailey Bash movement. The organization doing some real big things. Very interesting story. Bonus due today on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. All right, Sports Talk with Hot Sauce, Texas Pete Hot Sauce. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Don't go away.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play. So, you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. This is your folk, Doug Stewart. Want to protect you and your family from life's unexpected mishaps? Then join 7. Join 7 is a prepaid legal company under the umbrella of the Protection Group. Join 7 is the only group benefit or motor club in the U.S. that offers auto reimbursement coverage, key replacement coverage, roadside assistance, gives you a current Medi-file, prescription savings, and fully encompassed prepaid legal benefits that include identity theft. They got your back. The average combined cost to purchase these benefits individually is over $850 a year. Join today and take advantage of all 7 for $17 a month. They've been around for over 20 years, so check them out by clicking on the banner link on my page, thedougstewartshow.com, or the app. Just go ahead and join 7.
Let's vibe to Redman's new Funkarama on 88.9 WFDS, El Sabor de la Ciudad.
This is Funk Dr. Spots. As we look at our clocks, we're gonna take you on a ship to another show.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Shouts out to all of the Stewies, man. My peoples, thank you. Shouts out to Rail Scott, Dollars and Cents, One Chance, Loose Neck Side, Vince Wright, the Big Smooth One, Kaza. All of y'all gave me such love today when I sung the classic Lou Rawls hit for y'all. And I appreciate that. Big Smooth has become a huge fan of my singing, man. And just reading some of the comments. Thanks, Big Smooth. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at Doug at thedougstewartshow.com. I meant to talk about this a little bit earlier, but I pulled up an article from this website, SaturdayDownSouth.com. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. And this writer, and this is kind of like a blog thing, Christopher Smith, is talking about possible candidates for Georgia at head coach. And I'm going to go down, I guess, from worst to first, or who they're thinking they got the best chance of getting. Philadelphia Eagles head coach Chip Kelly. I mentioned that a little bit earlier. I think somebody started that conversation in the chat room saying, what about Chip Kelly? And I kind of jumped on it. And I think it would be a great thing. I think it would be a great fit for what he can do coaching-wise, bringing the staff together and the talent in the state of Georgia. I think that'd be a great fit. It's probably one of the top jobs available right now. Now that USC is gone, with all of the resources and, once again, the talent level in the state of Georgia, I think that would be good. They also talk about Mississippi State head coach Dan Mullen. I don't know why Dan Mullen would leave. I guess Mississippi State is not a good program or doesn't have the history and heritage of Georgia. So I think that would be a gain for him. It'd be more of a lateral movement. It'd be more than a lateral movement. It would be to come to Georgia. You know, he's had great success with quarterbacks, coaching Dak Prescott, Tim Tebow, and I think he actually coached Alex Smith back in the day as well. So Dan Mullen, highly thought of in SEC circles and college football circles. Maybe Dan Mullen, they throw out that name. And I'm assuming when you just throw out these names, there's some type of connection, there's some type of tie-in on why you would call said name. And a lot of times it's politics. It's about relationships. It's about a coach at one point working with an athletic director, in this case, McGarity down in Georgia. At one point he worked with them at another school 25 years ago, or one of the people in administration they know well, or maybe he went to the school. So that's how a lot of times these things work themselves out. Politics. They also mentioned Houston coach Tom Herman. Reportedly now, Houston's going to give him a big raise and pay. He's done a great job down there for the University of Houston, kind of revitalizing that program, kind of where Kevin Sumlin left it when he left and went to Texas A&M. They've kind of kept it going. He's highly thought of. Florida State head coach Jimbo Fisher. And I don't get that one at all. Just like, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Just like I was saying and talking about, I didn't get why Jimbo Fisher would leave Florida State to go to LSU if that job would have become available, which it hadn't. Why would he leave Florida State to come to Georgia? Once again, you're in Florida. The best talent in the country per capita statewide, wise, I believe. So I don't get that. Why would he leave Florida State to come to Georgia? I don't get that at all. And then the number one candidate and the number one, I guess, guy they think that they can get at the University of Georgia is Kirby Smart. That's right, graduate, Georgia graduate, played defensive back for the Bulldogs, been under the tutelage of Nick Saban and as well as Les Miles. So they're saying Kirby Smart, come on home and take over this program. I don't know about Kirby Smart, once again, because he's never been a head coach. You don't know who he's going to get to come with him to be his coordinators. You don't know what's his manner going to be like as a head coach. We don't know if he just flips and he's just a coordinator. You like to have a record of what a guy has been and what a guy has done as a head coach. We just don't know that. We understand. We think he's a great recruiter, has been a great coach as a coordinator. Will he be a great head coach is another question. We'll see. Let me go ahead and grab a call. Caller, thanks for calling the Doug Stewart Show. What's your name? Where you calling from? What you want to talk about?
Doug Stewart, what's happening?
What's up? Who's this?
T from Huntsville, sir.
T from Huntsville. What up, baby?
Man, just enjoying the show on a rainy day, man. I wanted to jump in real quick, man. I ain't going to try to tie the show up. But, man, I heard we were talking about Alabama earlier.
Yeah.
And the playoff thing. Okay, true enough, they have a reputation. And they have a very good team. They have incredible big uglies, a very strong defense, and a very good offensive line, and a great set of running backs and athletes. But everybody's ignoring the fact that they have game manager might be a bit strong for my man. I mean, at best, he's a game manager, but their quarterback is a serious weak spot.
Right.
A serious weak spot, and they're getting a slide on that. I mean, when you're in that playoff setting playing against, the so-called elite teams in the country, it's not going – I know everybody's trying to do it, but once you stop that run and he has to make plays, or once the team gets a lead and he has to make plays, that's going to be a serious problem. To be honest, if they had Coker at quarterback last year when Ohio State played them, they really would have got stomped out. I bet you a lot of those fans really wish they had Blake Sims right about now.
Right.
So you can see the difference in the offense.
Right.
So, I mean, that was a real good team, but it's going to be hard to hide that quarterback in the playoffs. And I heard somebody say something about there not being a lot of quarterbacks in college. So who was somebody's draft? I mean, pump your brakes, sir. You got Deshaun Watson. You got Boynton.
Hold on. Back up. Let's go over each one. Deshaun Watson's, I think he's only a sophomore. That's the problem with him. Go ahead. Who's your next guy?
Okay. We got Boynton. Boynton's probably going to come out this year, right, out of TCU?
Who?
Boynton.
Oh, Trayvon Boykin. Yeah, but you know what, man? And I like him, but it seems like he's not getting the shine from scouts and from the NFL that's going to be a guy that's going to project to the next level. For whatever reason that may be, I like him, and his numbers are crazy, but it seems like he's not getting no press.
No, you're right. He's not at all. Not at all. I think Marquise Williams is underrated as a quarterback in North Carolina.
Right.
He has size and arm strength. Brissett at North Carolina State is a very good pro-style quarterback.
I really like Brissett. I talked about that yesterday from North Carolina State.
And I'm going to throw this in, and don't look at me. 12 gauge, I think, is built for the NFL game. I think when he gets in the combine.
But he pissed it away, T. He pissed it away. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope that he ends up being a first-round draft pick, but I just don't see that being the case right now, man. His reputation and his brand has taken a hit this year, man, with coming back to Ohio State. Being benched is not a good look, no matter how you look at it, bruh.
No, it's not. It's not. But I'm telling you, man, this happens every year. It's a lot of press about it, a lot of hype. But come time for that combine, when he stands up in there, measures, and throws that ball, it'll all be forgotten. And he might not get an early pick, well, he probably won't, but it might be to his benefit to fall later, a better team and maybe a better situation, a la Teddy Bridgewater.
Right.
So,
right.
I mean, they're not hyping the quarterback, but I think they're more than, we're giving a look at. And one more, Ely at Toledo, he was a guy that was at Alabama. They drafted him, didn't play him. He left and found his way to another program.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some guys out there, so just keep an eye on them, and I think you might see a few things out there, man. There's a few quarterbacks. Keep on doing your thing, man. I'm going to get out of here. I'm gone.
I appreciate the call, T. He called 404-382-0338. That's the number to the show. Here on the Doug Stewart Show, on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Yeah, man, as always, it seems like, and I'm trying to pull up like what the draft gurus are saying right now about the quarterback position. It seems like every year, in particular over the last couple of years that I can think of, in particular, when you talk about Andrew Luck, you talk about Cam Newton, there's been a lot of quarterbacks that you said, man, that guy is a franchise quarterback. It doesn't seem like there's a guy out there right now that I can think of that's that dude. And I'm trying to pull it up right now. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Heard a lot of conversation. First name on the list is Paxton Lynch, quarterback from Memphis, 6'6", 230 pounds. Real good athlete in relative terms, but once again, he played at Memphis. You don't know about the talent, the level of competition that they're playing against in that division. Jared Goff, quarterback out of California. Obviously, I don't know a lot about Jared Goff. He came on the scene and really did a lot of big things early. They got him going, ranked the 19th best player coming out. Let me back up. Paxton Lynch, they have ranked number 4. Jared Goff, they have ranked number 7. And this is all players, not just quarterbacks. Connor Cook, quarterback out of Michigan State, who's had an injury issue over the last couple of weeks. They've got him ranked in 19th. And then not until 50th, and I'm looking at CBS Sports, their draft page, Christian Hackenberg, quarterback from Penn State. They've got it 50. So not really like, what was it, the 83 draft with Dan Marino and John Elway? It's not going to be a 1983 draft. It's just not. Paxton Lynch, once again, they got him as the number 1 rated quarterback coming out of college this year. I don't trust Paxton Lynch. I don't know how good of a quarterback he's going to be playing at Memphis, beating up on lesser talented teams week in and week out. So we'll see. He's got the quote unquote body, looks like Tarzan. Will he play like Jane in the NFL when he faces tougher competition? We will see. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. This is the Doug Stewart Show. When we get back from the break, we're going to talk to my man, Joseph Bailey. Joey Bailey is what they call him where I'm from. A real good dude, man, doing some big things, some positive things. And if you like those type of stories, man, you need to stay tuned and listen to what this brother got to say. Real good guy. Don't go away, all right? Coming up next on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, Bonus Stew. Bonus Stew. Bonus Stew. And we'll still keep talking to sports as well. Hit me up in the chat room on Spreaker.com, and we'll keep doing that, all right? Sports talk with hot sauce. Entertainment talk with hot sauce. For the people, this is the Doug Stewart Show. Don't go away.
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt. Specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your #1 advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
Do you have your own radio show? Are you an artist or a DJ? BB Mobile Apps is the solution for you. They specialize in creating mobile apps for entertainers. That's right. You can have your own mobile app where your followers can hear your shows or music, watch your videos, and view all your social networks in one place. You can even make money with banner ads and send push notifications directly to your audience to make sure they get your messages. Everyone has their phones on them, right? A mobile app will add credibility to your brand because your content will be accessible to them while they're on the go. BB Mobile Apps also makes apps for bloggers, actors, and producers. The process only takes about 20 minutes. Just go to bbmobileapps.com and click Get Started Now. That's bbmobileapps.com and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
Welcome back to the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. And I'm your boy, Doug Stewart. Thank you so much for joining me. And I'm real excited to talk to this next guy, man. He's been doing a lot of big things with his company over the last couple of years, the last many years. And so I kind of know the story, but I wanted to share that story with my listeners right here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Have you ever heard of the Bailey Bash? I mean, this is a big thing where I'm from. This is a huge thing. And right now, on the line with me is the owner, CEO, and founder of the Bailey Bash. And my man, Joseph Bailey, joins me on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Joey, how are you doing?
Oh, man, so blessed, man. So excited to be with you, brother. So excited.
Yeah, man. I mean, we've been trying to hook up for a while and talk about some of the business endeavors that you got going on, man. You dream real big. You got some great things going on. The Bailey Bash. First of all, before we even get into the nuts and bolts about what you got going on with the Bailey Bash, talk about that name, the acronym BASH. What does BASH stand for?
Wow, that's $1 million question, man, and we think that's going to be the phrase that's going to help lead this world to a better day, you know, and it's belief with action serves humanity. And if you break that down, belief means faith, action means work, serves means blessings, humanity means God's people. So basically, when you put it together, faith plus work bless God's people. And basically, God Almighty said all we have to do is commit to the first 2 letters of the word bash, and God Almighty has the second 2 letters. So that means all we have to do is have faith, believe in the possibilities that a better day is already here, and then action, which is work. Put work in to prove worthy for the benefits to come right back. And then that puts us in a position to be used by God Almighty to actually serve, which is bless, humanity, which is God's people. You know, so we believe that's, that position and that platform is going to lead people to a different way of thinking and
and then right at that position, we move forward these solutions for a better day.
Talking to Joseph Bailey right now. The bashorganization.com is where you can get more information about him and about his company. So in a layman's term, I kind of like if you were trying to explain what exactly the Bash is all about and what you guys do and what the mission statement kind of the company is. What exactly is Bash doing?
Well, we move people for a mutual benefit. That's the main thing that we do. Everyone needs people in order to profit, to build communities, to do anything good. You need people. So we move people for a mutual benefit. And what it is it's a huge movement, a movement of people that's coming together from all types of, backgrounds, from different cities, states, countries. They all are coming together, as one that believe in a better day, and it's all coming from my mother's local legacy that is one step away from becoming a global phenomenon. So it's just a ton of people that's just coming together who believe in a better day. And since they're all assembled through this organization, well, we move people for a mutual benefit wherever we need to send them.
And you're listening to the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. My name is Doug Stewart. We're talking to Joseph Bailey right now, owner, founder of the Bash Organization. You can check them out online at thebashorganization.com. Once again, I've known your people for a long, long time. Y'all are movers and shakers. How does it feel to be kind of like the leader of a new world called the Bash?
Man, it's just, they ask me that all the time, man. I just know it's an honor. And it was a, rough fight for 13 years. And, all the other stories, the stories is not even coming out of the sacrifices we've made, the backlash and the beatings and all those things, but it just feels so good to survive and still be here, and in position to actually fulfill this mission. So it's the best feeling in the world. It's like a championship, and we're so excited and ready to shake up this world behind it.
Tell us about the Bash Capital campaign to rebuild America in 2025. Now, word on the street is it's a presidential campaign following the footsteps of Obama and the great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Are you really saying you're going to run for president? Explain this to me and to my listeners, bro.
Call it that, or you can just call it, the first campaign that's actually, for people, not politics. And so we're 100% committed to going door to door until we actually reach the White House, to where we can say toe to toe, policy after policy, solution after solution, and we compare both, and then the people would be able to see which one is more beneficial to leading this world to a better day. So yes, we're doing a campaign, city to city, state to state. We're opening up grassroots offices everywhere, all across the country. And then right then and there, all we're doing is create mutually beneficial opportunities to benefit each other, so we stay united, so we can gather that power. And then right from there, we just use that position to continue to rebuild each and every one of the communities that we're in. So right now, we're in 38 states. We just hit New Jersey. That's where we're here now. And Philly is right after that. So, yes, we're running an official presidential campaign that you're going to see in a little while on the same stage with all the guys that's actually running for the president of the United States.
Wow.
I'm so proud for that moment and that opportunity.
Wow. Check them out online at thebashorganization.com. We're talking to Joseph Bailey, the owner, the founder, right here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Now, why does everyone say they got love for the Bailey Bash, and yet they seem like they can't deal with what you got going on with the Bailey Bash? Like, talk about some of your trials and tribulations trying to get to the point where you're trying to get to.
Well, the first thing is it's different, and people in this world are programmed that when something is different, that it's bad. It's just different. It's not bad. It's different. And then on the other end is, starting out, the stories that's going to come out is, the mayors to radio, media, just whoever, they all been buying cars from me in the beginning. But as soon as when, I decided that, I want to chase this dream to open up hope centers and, to counter the prison systems that we opening up consistently that's killing us, where they actually profit off of the demise of people, when I'm presenting a solution there. And then now, automatically, because that's so different, and that's service, and it's not money, the way they actually lead us to believe that it's all about money, not people. So obviously, that puts me in the lion's mouth, in the lion's den, automatically, because again, it's different. So, once they realize that, that I'm standing firm on this position, well, then they look at it like it's a direct attack against them and their livelihood and the money that they make. When I'm talking about the 1%ers, where 99% of the population is ran by 1%, and they give us pennies to play with. Okay, well, we have a new system. We have a new system that counters that one. So that's a threat to the folks that's been keeping us down all these years. So again, I just thank God that we survived, we're in position, and there's not a better system out there to bring this country back to where we need to be, for the next few generations than the BASH organization. And we're going to prove that right now, starting through your radio show, sir.
Right. What's like the ideal candidate for someone that would be a good fit with your organization and what you guys are trying to do going forward? What's that person, their mindset like? What are some of their goals that they need to have if they want to be down with the BASH movement?
Anyone breathing. Everyone basically needs something, wants something, desires something. When our job is to give mutually beneficial opportunities to everyone that's breathing, so we can be a support system to them and their dreams and their products and their services, which thus, keeps us connected and united, and that creates that power that we need to actually, finish this mission, to rebuilding this country. So the number one thing is we don't care who you are, where you come from, your color, your creed, if you've been to prison, if you've been, battered wife, we don't care. You're a thug in the street, no problem. Our job is to identify their desires and their needs, and then give a support system to support it, while stretching it all through our organization. So there's not one set clientele or client for this organization. Just basically anybody that's breathing, our job is to create a mutually beneficial opportunity to benefit it.
And kind of an inadvertent way, earlier I mentioned Martin Luther King Jr. You actually share the same birthday with him. You do an annual event on the 8th of January every single year. What's that going to be like this year? You got any big surprises? What's going on for the BASH in 2016?
Well, yeah, what that is January 15th. They say lucky number 7. My mom has, 9 boys and 2 girls, and I'm lucky number 7 out of 11 children born on Martin Luther King's birthday, January 15th. And so every year we always do something to celebrate the life and legacy of the great Martin Luther King. And, indirectly, I celebrate my birthday as well, So this time, we're doing it a little bit bigger, and we're putting all those plans together right now. But we do know it's January 15th through the 18th in Charleston, South Carolina. We're working on a lot of names right now to actually add to the ones that we know is going to be there, which is Eddie Bellis, the next, Bob Marley, and then we also have Mercedes Sands, she's a pageant queen, and then also Lil Tunes, he's, a comedian and all those other good stuff. So, but we're adding so many more names, so many more events to that weekend, and probably the next show we're going to have some confirmations to be able to share with your audience.
Finishing up with Joseph Bailey right now, the BASHorganization.com. The Bailey Bash going down real big in January, celebrating his 8th annual event. You got a media side as well. Will BASH TV be there as well for this event?
Oh, 100%. We're kicking off BASH TV, and we're so excited about it because that station, is going to show all the good things that's going on in this world that most media outlets don't support or endorse or expose. So we're exposing all these stories in each community, just everywhere we go. So they'll be live and in color, ready to make sure and spread the word, the good word that's going out in each community. So yes, they'll be live and in color.
How is the International Award Show coming up? I read about that. How is that moving along?
Oh man, we're so excited about that. We're planning the pre-International Award Show and we're going to have that date before the January 15th event. But it's just coming out so amazing because each of these cities and each of these states that we have networks in, when they're all ready to actually just start, moving everything forward in the direction of bringing all their resources, their relationships, their people, and just coming to one central location to where we all can come together and actually make a really, really big impact on this country through that night. So the International Award Show is going to benefit the first of a chain of hope centers as the continuing solution to economic challenges. And so that's our Super Bowl right there. So that's one to always, check back in on right there. But it's coming along great. We're going to have a long list of people of influence that's coming in, and that's our Super Bowl there. We're definitely waiting on that day.
Now we were supposed to do this interview a couple of days earlier, maybe even a couple of weeks earlier, but you ran into some issues back at the home front. I kind of heard about the political powers. They've kind of been affecting you guys' growth. Do you get the support you need from mayors and other political leaders for the movement?
The answer is no. The answer is no. Now, when we go back and you can look at some events and some things that went on, and it would actually back up that, regardless of what they say, because we have had $4 million. In the community out there and where we grew up at in South Carolina, and we sat down with the mayor and the whole team, and we brought it. Actually took $4 million from a deal that we were working on in Orlando after the T.I. Road to Redemption tour with MTV. I could have been rich and going and doing what I wanted to do, but we made a commitment to going back St. Stephen home because we wanted it to take off from there. The next thing you know is they made a commitment. We went down, sat with the mayor and his whole team, and they agreed. They voted unanimously that we get this high school, St. Stephen High School, the one that, the school that I actually grew up in. And then that's closed down now, and then the community closed down right after it. So we wanted to open it up into a Hope Center, and so they bought in, bringing $4 million down, $2 million for the high school to renovate it to education center, business center, family center, convention center for events, fundraising, all those things to create jobs in the community, and then another $2 million for upgrades in the community, where we just go into people's businesses and homes and just giving them, $20 grand and just or whatever the amount of money is for upgrades, as a gift from this organization. So not only did they, made a commitment to that, they turned around after negotiating and after the contracts, they shut us down. But not only that, we came out and we've been out all summer long, every week out there doing these events, walking these kids from one community to another community that never get out of the community. We're walking them to the community park, getting jump castles, food, games every day. And then the police department came out and asked us to support them in their summer camps. I said yes. The parents said no. All the parents said no because they don't do anything for the community anyway, so they didn't want to take their money to support them. I talked to them to actually supporting the police department because we're trying to bring them together through the movement, so all the parents agreed. Now when they agreed, now they went door to door. They pulling kids out of there. We fundraising. We even got money from Boeing. We brought all this money together and gave them 100% of the proceeds to find out that none of these kids were served. None of these kids went to the camp. None of these kids were even called or mentioned or anything at all. So we shut down and suspended everything until they fix it. So what we're letting St. Stephen Police Department know, and all the mayors and everybody out there that's been holding these communities down all these years, year after year, that day is over. Now we're going to expose and we're going to make sure we let the world know everybody that's out there that's in position to benefit humanity, that's shutting it down left and right, especially a guy like me that's 100% committed to finishing this mission. So, they have taken us out long enough. They've been doing it and they're consistently doing it, and that's why the world is the way it is right now, and that's why everybody's mad and, cops shooting black folks shooting cops, so there has to be a solution, and it has to start with looking in the mirror at the reasons why people are mad. And they're mad because they have created a disrespectful country. So So our job is to make them respect each other, respect humanity, and then now we can move forward these solutions to a better day.
TheBashOrganization.com. It's a place where philanthropic efforts are moved forward, as well as buyers, sellers of goods and services, and an all-out effort to make a change in this world. We're talking to the owner right now and the founder, Joseph Bailey, right here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Joseph, before I let you go, I understand you have your COO in the building with you, Tamika Murphy. Is she there?
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Hold on one moment. I just want to say, just for the audience, I'm moving forward this campaign, and I'm committed to that run, that campaign run. So God bless me with Tamika. She's so ready, so prime and in position to move it all the way forward. So she's running the company now. So everybody out there in Bash Nation, Bash Land, Tamika Murphy, please, get to know her. She's awesome. She's excellent. And her job is to give gifts, just to give gifts. It's a mutually beneficial opportunity to benefit each other, so we come together. But I just wanted to let you know that she's running the company while I'm over here running this campaign, the service side in the field. So please welcome Tamika Murphy.
Hi, Doug. How are you?
I'm great. Tamika Murphy joining me right now on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, COO of TheBashOrganization.com. Do you see the vision of Joseph and what he's been talking about and bringing people together and trying to make a change? Do you understand and do you see his vision, Tamika?
I not only see his vision, Doug, but I also share it. I've been working in the nonprofit industry for quite some time. Some of my experience has been community-based and some has been on a national level. So becoming a part of the Bash movement was a natural move for me, and I just look at it as an opportunity to get from behind the desk and to that God used me to serve His nation on a global level.
It's a true sincerity. It's true genuineness in the voice of Joseph Bailey and some of the efforts and some of the things he's trying to get done. You can actually feel that, can't you?
I not only can actually feel it, but I think I get almost 24 hours, 7 days a week of it. There's a lot more than most people get, and they will get.
Wow. Well, good talking to you. And also, from what I understand, you have some other people in your midst right now, Sherwin and Sharon Armour, who've actually been a part of the Bailey Bash. Can we put them on for a second?
We sure can. Hi, Doug. How are you?
How are you doing? This is Sharon.
Yes, this is Sharon. How are you?
I'm great. Okay, so this is Sherwin and Sharon Armour. They're actually in the midst, once again, of Joseph Bailey and the COO, Tamika Murphy of the BashOrganization.com. Talk a little bit about your relationship with Joseph and the Bash Organization and the Bailey Bash.
Well, when it was presented, I was very, very excited about the Bash movement. First of all, it was a movement of people, and it's not talking about money, but it was about humanity, and that's what I'm all about. I'm a Sunday school teacher, and I like to deal with youth, and I'm just looking for the hope. I'm from the city of Camden, and when you think about Camden, the first thing that people think is, the poverty and no hope. So when the Bash movement was presented, my whole heart went out to, the youth. Was like making something possible. They're making things there in a community available for them to move forward, and also the people coming together to make it possible for them to move forward in the direction which they want to go.
Wow, incredible stuff. Is Sherwin with you right now?
Yes, Doug, this is Sherwin. I thank you for the opportunity to speak with you tonight. I'm excited that the fact that the Bash movement is in New Jersey. I'm thankful for what he is doing. Trying to help small businesses, getting assistance, trying to create resources for common needs, creating jobs, things of that nature. I'm excited, and I'm looking forward to work with him and to carry this to the next level.
Awesome. Well, Sherwin and Sharon Armour, thank you so much for coming on the Doug Stewart Show on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Thank you as well to COO Tamika Murphy. Can I speak with Joseph one more time before I let you guys go?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Joseph, great stuff, man. Once again, in your words, tell the listeners to the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network exactly what the Bash organization is all about. I kind of talked about it, I believe, in hearing you guys talk and reading the background and hearing what you're trying to do moving forward. It's a philanthropic organization looking to help people, and as well as is looking to try to bring together people with like ideals, whether that's business, whether that's goods, services, whatever that may be. It's a bringing together of people. Am I right?
Yes, sir, 100%. And basically, it's a better day. Basically, no one out there is really talking about solutions. That's what we're about, solutions, creating solutions for a better day. So wherever there's a need, wherever there's a problem, an issue, anything that Obama and the President Obama and everyone in the humanitarian world is faced with, we have the solutions to overcome in each challenge. That's what this is about, and it's a movement of people coming together for this better day. You know, we need another solution.
Wow.
Because it's not anything that's presented. Everything is just getting worse and worse every day. So we're about a solution. That's the main thing. And the solution is moving people for a mutual benefit. So when you actually create resources, hope, options, opportunities, and ways to profit, you know, then bottom line, it just creates a new level of thinking, you know, for this country. And then right then and there from that position, we just slide in, you know, opportunities for them to grow. You know, so at the end of the day, it's just a movement of people coming together who's tired of the same old, you know, who's ready to make a commitment to a new solution, a new day, a new world, and it's just benefiting each one step by step, moment by moment, and we're just so excited about it.
Wow. TheBashOrganization.com. Once again, TheBashOrganization.com. If you go on the website, you'll get a breakdown of exactly what we've been talking about over the last 20 minutes or so. Details on how you can reach Joey, details on how you can reach Tamika, and all the details, once again, of the Bash organization and the Bailey Bash. Josie?
Yes, and I want to say one thing before you go. There's two goals. There's a solution. There's two solutions. Two goals, main goals. One is for wealth. God gave us this system that stems from my mother's 4-decade-old legacy, where she's been creating wealth, you know, through service. So we have a wealth discovery, a global discovery, which is a wealth machine that we call a life engine. So that's one thing for the audience to know, that we present as a wealth solution to create more hope and options and opportunities and ways to profit. Then also the service solution is to open up a chain of hope centers as a continuing solution to economic challenges. So now we're looking at real solutions for wealth, real solutions for services, you know, just real solutions for people. That's what we represent.
Awesome stuff, man. The Bailey Bash, thebashorganization.com, owner, founder, Joseph Bailey with the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Joseph, good stuff, man. We'll talk to you down the road, and obviously, good luck to you, man.
Thank you, sir. God bless you, man. And thank you for all you do, man. You make us look real good out there from South Carolina, man. So keep doing it, man. And tell Big Stu I said what's going on, man. Tell the brother I said what's up.
That's what's up. That's what's up. There he is right there.
Yes, sir.
Joseph Bailey with the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. When we get back from the break, we'll wrap up today's show. Don't go away. Keep it locked. This is the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Let's face it, the metro Atlanta area is a great place to live, but like most major cities, it has a huge crime problem. Doug Stewart here to tell you about the team of security experts at Strickland Security and Safety Solutions. Strickland Security is an Atlanta-based security company, and whether you need an alarm system installed in your home or business or your current alarm system needs to be repaired, Strickland Security is the solution. Do you need to install or repair an existing camera system in your home or business? Again, Strickland Security is the solution. The management team at Strickland Security has a combined 55 years in the business of protecting people and property. They have certified and licensed technicians that can service all of your security needs. So, if you have crime issues or concerns in your neighborhood, you need to call the experts at Strickland Security. Invite these guys to your next neighborhood watch or homeowners association meeting and let them tell you about all of their security services. One more thing. Go to their website to see their new mobile solutions. They developed a smartphone app specifically for neighborhood crime and safety notifications. For more information, go to their website at strictlandsecurity.com or give them a call at 800-422-9075 and tell them that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes.
Let's vibe to Redman's new Funkarama on 88.9 WFDS, El Sabor de la Ciudad.
This is Buck Dr. Spots.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Shouts out to Joseph Bailey, man. Great stuff. Check them out online at thebashorganization.com. Real positive brother right there, man. Thank you so much for tuning in to that interview, man. Thank you. This is the Doug Stewart Show on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. This segment is brought to you by our folks from Strickland Security. Go online and check them out at stricklandsecurity.com. Once again, it's stricklandsecurity.com. They can get you a basic alarm system. They can get you, they can fix your alarm system, or they can give you the big boy alarm system where they kind of set you up with all the bells and whistles, cameras, and all of that stuff. They can do it at stricklandsecurity.com. Once again, stricklandsecurity.com, and tell them that the Doug Stewart Show sent you. All right, before we get out of here, I want to remind you again that we have started a new campaign. I can't even explain to you in depth how I should on how tough it is to keep independent radio going, to continue giving you this fire sports talk, the realest, trillest sports talk in America. It's tough, and we do have great advertisers and partners with the network, but we need more. All right, so we're introducing the Triple F. All right, stands for $5 for the flavor. $5 for the flavor. That's right. Donate $5 once a month to the Doug Stewart Show, man, and help us do what we do. So it's very easy. PayPal, it's like 3 clicks. Really, truly, it's like 3 clicks. So you go on thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, thedougstewartshow.com. There's a little donate button to the right. You click on that and donate $5 through PayPal, and we really would appreciate it, and we can continue to bring you this quality product. Yes, sir. Triple F. $5 for the flavor. All right? Before we get out of here, a couple little news and notes from the world of sports we didn't get a chance to hit. I don't know why I didn't mention this at the start of the show when we were talking about the Monday Night Football game. But last night, Josh McCown endures a shoulder injury. They're not sure if it's a broken collarbone or something like that. They're still going to do some tests. They did some initial tests last night. They're going to do more today and find out. So lo and behold, it looks like Johnny Manziel, it's either going to be Austin Davis or Johnny Manziel. I would think it's going to be Johnny Manziel is going to end up starting again probably this coming week for the Cleveland Browns. Once again, they can't get right. They're like that dude off Life. Can't get right. Yeah. So hopefully Josh McCown's okay. You hate to see anybody get hurt, but he gets hurt at the end of that game last night. And also last night, man, the Warriors, they extend their streak of wins to start the season to 19 games in a row as they beat the Utah Jazz last night 106-103, kind of like their closest game till this point of the early season, but they get it done 19-0. I don't know. I mean, I just don't see why you think they're not going to match that 72-game mark set by the Bulls, because right now they got it all clicking on all cylinders. Unless they have like some unfortunate injuries, I totally see this Golden State Warriors team doing some magical, historical things this year in basketball. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in today to the Doug Stewart Show on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, make sure you follow the show on Spreaker.com so whenever a show goes live or whenever we play an interview, you get alerted. And so you can tune in at that time. So make sure to do that. Also, tell at least one person about the Doug Stewart Show. Ugh, we need you to tell one person, man. All right? The realest, trillest sports talk show in America. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Shouts out to all of the Stewies in the chat room. Without you, there'd be no me. Yes, sir. Dwayne Vasson, Gerald Oliveri, my engineers. Without them, there'd be no me for real. I mean, we ain't joking about that. Waterhead Walter, the assistant producer to the Two Live Stews and to the Doug Stewart Show. Shouts out to Waterhead. We'll do it again tomorrow. Same Doug Stewart time, same Doug Stewart channel. Can't wait to talk about the college football playoff pairings. Shouts out to my man Joey Bailey, the Bash organization. Shouts out to Joey coming on the show today. What else? Who else? Oh, I think we already did it, but we can do it again. Shouts out to all of the Stewies. Thank you for tuning in to the Doug Stewart Show on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Yes, sir. All right, we'll do it again tomorrow. Same Doug Stewart time, same Doug Stewart channel. 10 a.m. Eastern time. All right, right here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Y'all be careful in them streets. Peace.